What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, my 4C gang? Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and and the cup ran away with the spoon. Hey, and the cup ran away with the spoon. How y'all doing? Happy day before Halloween. Hey, Alice in Wonderland, how you doing, baby? How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing, Shawanda? Um, let's talk about it, y'all. We're gonna talk about a couple of things tonight. As y'all can see, I'm feeling better. Better. Hopefully, I'll be going home tomorrow. Tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. You will see that tomorrow. I bet your bottom dollar. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I am doing better, y'all. I'm doing better. Um, I'm doing better, but the devil is busy. The devil is busy. Devil did a couple of things, but it's not anybody else's business. But you know what I just realized, y'all? My room number was 187. Do anybody know what 187 stands for? Hey, mama. Look, my mama. 187 stands for murder or killer. I'm in 187. Oh, God, can y'all believe that? So, anyway, y'all, let's talk. Let's talk. So, oop, so I got two hamburgers for. I had two hamburgers for. Two hamburgers. Oh yeah, I gotta do this mouthwash. This mouthwash tastes so nasty. I bit the inside of my jaw. I don't know what's been happening with me. My equilibrium been off. So I bit the inside of my jaw. I don't want to drink this. I mean, not drink it, but gargle with this oral rinse, chlorhexidine, something like that. He said it's gonna hurt for 2 days, so it's been really hard for me to eat, y'all, and all of that. I want y'all to think back to your Halloween days. We are people over here of a certain. We are people over here of a certain age group over here. We people over here with a little sense. We in our we older. Come on, we older. We all know we older, and we have been through many of Halloween trick or treats. And I can remember mine back to when I was 5 or 6, my first time trick or treating. Why did trick or treating seem so scary? You remember when you was a little kid and you didn't want to walk, you stand there and you hold your bag and your mama go on up there, say trick or treat. I was one of them kids. Say trick or treat. Go on up there, hold your bag out. And I loved it. Halloween was one of my favorite at one time. It was, if not my favorite holiday besides my birthday and Christmas. Halloween, I loved it because I love candy. And I remember, as y'all can look at this picture right here, that's a picture of myself, my sister in the middle. I scratched the face out because I didn't want to see nobody's face, and Roland. Roland dressed up as Kiss. That boy dressed up as Kiss. Y'all know the band Kiss. He had on his mama's wig. He had on makeup. I was a girl. That's just a prelude to you being drag queen. That was just a prelude to him wanting to be a drag queen. I knew it. I said, girl, you're gonna be wearing, next thing you know, you're gonna be wearing pantyhose and high heels. But you know, it was my boy. He was more feminine. Roland was more baby. That was a feminine queen. He'd be a queen if he wanted to. Yes, he would. So hold on, let me goggle this down, y'all. Mhm. So as y'all look at this picture is at the same house that my mother lived in. I tell you, that house was in our family so long. So let me explain these costumes to you. Bolin, that was his mother's wig. He was one of the Kiss band members. You know, at that point, I didn't even know who the hell Kiss was. Not as a child. I didn't know who the hell Kiss was. I always loved Halloween. My dad just, yeah, Halloween was one of my favorite. So in this picture, you have Roland. He got one of my Aunt Teresa wigs. He painted the black stars over his eye. He loved her makeup. And he was Kiss. And we didn't know who Kiss was. I was just like, okay, you got another excuse for you to wear a damn wig. My sister, she was a zombie, a dead zombie. So she had on a nightgown and hair was all wild. I was mad, so I brushed her out of this picture. Then you have me. See me. Um, my mother ordered this off TV. And it was one of the costumes when you blow it up and you tie it on your head. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was something ordered off TV. I ordered it. I don't know what the hell I ordered this costume for, but I ordered it. Look how cute I am. Look how short I was. So anyway, we would all, and we lived, this was a white neighborhood, you guys. This was a white neighborhood back in the day. We were the only black people that lived in this neighborhood. And I'll tell you how that happened. My great grandmother, when they came over here from Canada, she was 15. She married my great grandfather, John Raphael Binge. He looked like a white man. He could pass for a white man. That's my grandmother's and her kids. My grandmother, they were really white, light, white, but he could pass for a white man. So they would not rent my great grandmother any house. I want to do anybody in my family know this story, like to be able to pass it down. You know what? That's why God has given me longevity. You know, you try to find your purpose. He has left me here to be able to tell the story because I know the story. I asked these stories I talked about. A lot of people don't know their history. And that's sad when you don't know your history. Some people out here don't know their grandmama's birthday or how old somebody would be. I know that about everybody. I can tell you how old my great great grandmother would have been. Well, so they would not rent my great grandmother any place. So my great grandfather bought an empty lot, the house where my mama lived, and great grandmama and grandmama and Oliver and I, and they had a house moved over. They sold him a lot, not knowing that he was married to a black woman. So that's how we got that house on Seacoast, the house that we're standing in there. Now, at that particular time, it was nothing but Polish people, and we were the only blacks. They weren't all that bad because, and I'm gonna tell you why. My great grandmother named her daughter, my grandmother Agnes, after the lady next door, Millie's sister. She was so good friends with them. She named her daughter. My grandmother was named after the Polish woman. That's how much. And then I ended up loving Millie and her husband Hank and their daughter Elaine. So, you know, but it was a lot of prejudice over there too. A lot of prejudice. It was subtle prejudice. Like my mother was the only black girl that went to school over there. My sisters and I were the only black. When we went to school, we were the only black ones in there. There were never any other blacks in our elementary. Mm. But I never had a problem. I told y'all about the time where I would walk to school and a lady would come out and she would wave at me and she'd go, "Introduce my spots na cha cha nagara." And I'd go, "How you doing?" And she'd be smiling. And now my grandmother grew up over there too, so my grandmother knew a little Polish because she went to that school. Isn't it amazing? My great grandmother went to the school, my grandmother, my mother, us, and my sister, them children. So that's a lot of generations. So, and my great great grandmother went to night school. Come on, somebody. So anyway, um, my grandmother was walking with me one day, and the lady came out. And on the days the lady went, I was like, "Where's my friend?" But she came out and she said, "It's too much person touch and I got her." I said, "I have my grandmother's." She said, "Boy, that lady was telling me to take my black ass in the house and go to bed." A little child, I did nothing to that lady. But my grandmother also told me, she said, "Look, don't dislike the race, dislike her. All Polish people are not." Hey, Smitty, Smitty, folks. She said, "All Polish people are not like that. It's just this ignorant ass lady." Hey, Brandy. So anyway, it was a nice neighborhood. I would leave boys club and I would come out of boys club and I would go to my grandmother's house and all my friends would go one way and I would go the other way. That was the nice side of the track, nice side of the track. And they'd be like, "You live that way?" I'd be like, "No, my grandmama lived that way." And when I would take my friends over there, oh, they would just be in awe of the neighborhood. So we trick or treat over there because we lived over there. And boy, did we have some trick or treat moments. Mhm. People would either not open their doors for us because we were black, or they would overcompensate and think we were these poor black children and give us so much candy. Here, they would be offering us pots and pans and clothes. Who the hell pass out clothes on a Halloween? I mean, they would actually be giving us clothes and socks and gloves, and they would go, "Oh, like, oh, look at the poor black children." But we didn't mind it. And they gave out some nice stuff, like the big bag of chips. They gave out pops, and back then that's when they would pop the popcorns and make bags of popcorns or bags of toffee candy or peanut brittle, and you could give out stuff and not worry about somebody put something in it. Look at them now. I'm just called the people giving out the candy with the weed, the THC in it, to the children. It was a time where the world was a little bit better. Even though we had prejudice, it was prejudiced people in there. It still was a little bit better. You could trust folk. You can trust folk. And, if you can see my cousin Roland, he's holding the white thing he's holding. You know what that is? That is a pillowcase. We used to carry pillowcases. And we'd fill those pillowcases up, come home, sit them down and grab another pillowcase. That's when everybody gave out candy. How many people in here tonight is going to give out candy tomorrow? How many of y'all going to pass out candy? I remember when we were younger, every street light, every porch light was on. Mama, you still do what? Still do what, Mama? I remember every porch light was on. Every house gave out something. And y'all remember the time we'd get home and Mama wouldn't have no more candy, and we would get a kids some of the candy or the pillowcases. Oh, come on, somebody! But I was so good at when the kids would come trick or treating to our house, and there wasn't no more candy, I would give them pass out some of the candy that I had, the candy that I did not want. Because do y'all remember this part? Getting home, sitting in the middle of the floor, pouring all your candy out on the floor, looking at what you got, and trading with your siblings. Like, I'll give you this for that. Oh, that was okay. Look, I'll give you this for that. or people knew that I loved almond joy. They knew I loved almond joy. I love a good nut, good almond and some nut. And so everybody would give me the almond joys, and almond joys and Kit Kats were my favorite. Oh, hold on, let me lay back. Oh, my head, I got a little dizzy there. Oh my God, y'all, they gave me morphine and stuff, y'all. So y'all gotta excuse me. So we would sit down and, you know, finagle and trade, and I give you this, you give me that. Oh, those were the times. And I would always have so much kills. I would run from house to house. So let me tell you one time. So anyway, so you see Roland with that pillowcase. That's what we carry. And we were so excited. One house right down the street from there, they were giving out dollars, dollar bills. Do y'all know I went home and changed clothes 3 times? All these black folks to get them dollar bills. Still to this day, it's a house over there that they give out. They would get boxes of the chips. We handing out. Okay. See, my mama and them handing out candy. Anybody else handing out candy? If I was at home, hopefully I get out tomorrow. I'll be passing out candy. Terry said, "Yes, the money. Come on, yes." So I remember, I remember we would go trick or treat, but then it got to a point where somebody tried something. So then you had to start taking your candy to the police station, and they would run it through the scanner to make. I think somebody put razor blades or something. So remember, then it got to a point where you would take your candy and run by the police station and let them run it through, and that was the first inclination of, okay, it's starting to get bad. People are doing the kids wrong. It's just ridiculous. This was back in the 70s. This picture right here was in the 70s. This picture right here was in the 70s. This had to be 79. It had to be about 78, 79 right here. Oh, my mama was still here. My mother would be in the car and just ride, let us watch us, let us walk and then ride. Then she pull the car down the block and wait on us to get down there. Let me tell y'all what happened one night. One night, this particular night, I forgot what I dressed up as. But I know Roland dressed up as a character from Star Wars. And I don't know. So anyway, we went up on this one porch. Trick or treat, me, 2 sisters, about 3 of my sisters, me, 3 of my sisters, and Roland. Trick or treat, the lady opens the door and she said, hold on. And she comes back. She says, oh, he said, oh, what are you dressed up for? Oh, look at you, and so she gave us her candy and we turned around. And when we turned around, it was 2 line, it was a Soul Train line. Y'all remember the Soul Train line of white people. And we're standing on this porch. They older than us, and we got to walk through this. And that was the only time. That's the biggest prejudice, racism I had. That was my first time even knowing what racism was, because they were intimidating us. All these white people. Mike, will you be out of the hospital about that? Hopefully, I will. Hopefully, I will. So now we're standing on the porch. We're like, oh my God, we had to walk through these white because I wanted to jump off the porch, but I wasn't gonna leave my siblings up there. So Roland did have that sword. Remember that sword that lights up from Star Wars? He was like, well, I'm gonna knock some people in the head. And so my sister and ma went through. They didn't hit any of us. But as I was going through, I was like, I knew I should have dressed up as a white person for Halloween. I think a couple of them started laughing. I was like, I knew I should have dressed up as a white person for Halloween, but they really tried to intimidate us. But I think Roland was like, I'm gonna tell my brother-in-law Daryl. Daryl was the biggest weed man over there, so he knew a lot of them, and that stopped them because they knew that they would have been fucked up if they had to mess with us. But they said, if you are, let me know so I can send you something for your dinner. Okay, I sure will, Brett. I sure will. So we got through that. Then I remember one time I was going into a store, and when we went in the store, y'all, it was a little girl, little white girl, and her daddy was in the back. It was like one of these storefronts. So you gotta be like, well, we grew up, it was storefront stores. The houses look like a bar. It could look like a house, but it could be a bar. It looked like a house, but it could be a store. So we walked in, and the little girl was like trick or treat, and the little girl went back. When she went trick or treat, she had to go back to her daddy or granddaddy to get the candy. So when she came back, and so we all left. I was like, oh, let's go in and trick or treat because she had to go back and we can get her something. So we went back in. We said, oh, we had another. We said, oh, she forgot to get something or whatever. We said trick or treat. She said, oh, little girl was just so nice that somebody was in there. When she went to that bag, baby, I grabbed a big old bag of Fritos. I mean, the biggest bag of Fritos you can get, and I stuck it in my pillowcase. Yeah, all of us had these real big bags of chips, big bag, and candy bar. I mean, we was still in. That's why they don't trust little black kids, because we were the poster children of. That's why your little black asses don't eat. I'm gonna tell you how young we were, and as kids, it's so funny now looking back. Because as we was living, was like we was trying to eat, and we was like, how are we gonna explain to Mama that they gave us these real big bags, each one of us a piece of these chips? Because Mom was the type of ain't nobody gave y'all no goddamn big bag of chips like this. And so, do you know we threw them away before we got home because eh, that's just how young we were. Because now I would have kept them damn Fritos shit. But that's what we get for stealing. Um, one year, y'all, my mama, and this is my mama's fault. Cause you know we was some we made homemade costumes. I don't never think I had any costume, but this might have been the only costume that was ever bought for me. This one off TV. Other than that, the costumes was made. It wasn't no contest. It wasn't no costume contest back there. Cause most of the time we was at a house party bobbing for apples. They always wonder why I'd win. Why I'd stick my head down there and get one of them apples so damn quick. I said he could. They didn't know I would be on my knees bobbing my head up and down in real life. I knew then I had a special. It was something special. I could stick my head down in that water, clamp down on that apple, and bring it back up with no problem. Oh, I used to see all the men in the room cross their legs and turn their head because of how good I was. Looking at me tomorrow when he get older. We made ours because there was a contest at school for the best cousin. I definitely don't like Fritos. Give me some hot fried lemon. Right. So look, one year, you guys, my mother dressed my two sisters up. She dressed me up as Cinderella and them as the evil stepsisters. I have a video where we talk about that. I said, Mama, what made you dress me up as Cinderella and them the evil stepsisters? She said, I was just giving you what you wanted. I said, Mama, I ain't never wanted to be no Cinderella. But my voice was up high, y'all. And I'll never forget it. I kind of liked it. I played the role so good. because I remember going. The boy lady was like, "And who are you?" I was like, "Cinderella," and she was like, "Oh, you are a pretty little girl." Y'all, I love playing something. Maybe that was, you know what? There's an inner bitch in me. So, there's an inner bitch in me because I played the hell out of Cinderella that night. And I remember I was going into this bar. But Brady said, "Mike, everything don't need to be about how freaky you are." I know. I can't help y'all. I can only tell my truth, y'all. So I remember going into the bar. At this time, I had about 12, 13. And I had on this orange dress and this thing. I had a crown on. I was Cinderella, and my sister was the evil stepsister. Oh, baby, I need to find that video. And I asked my mom, "What made you dress me?" Tessa, you were just born very talented. Listen, I played the hell out of that role. And I remember this man, oh, he was so creepy. He was like, "And what are you?" He was like, here's some money. I took that money I was hoeing to at 13, 14. Because I was a hoe. I was an innocent, honest hoe that night. Because I was dumb enough to stay away. I was going to stay away from that white man. But I let his drunk ass give me that money. He put his arms around me. He was like, "You a cute little girl." I was like, "Thank you." Hey, Chubbs. Hey, wife. Um, what was the last thing I seen you eat? What's the what's the damn stuff you ate? Made me want some. Damn it, it'll come to me. But y'all, like how do that work? Like, well, how was I innocent, honest hoe? I was because I took that man's money and I was underage, but we were in the bar just trick or treating. And then look, I started liking it. And so I was I liked everybody talking about how pretty of a little girl I was. Y'all know I got some undertone issues that I probably need to deal with. I really do. I really do. Cause I was going tonight what I was gonna talk about too, besides Halloween and trick or treating, and that being one of my favorite holidays. I was gonna talk about DL men and what makes a man gay and all of that. And if a man allows a man to, if a man lets a man give him head one time to try to see if he like it, does that make him gay? And I have a lot of stories about that, but we'll get to that maybe even tonight, Chubbs. I love the food videos you've been pushing out. Yeah, I've been watching them. I watch them too. Um, I like them. So, it got to the point where we had to start taking our kids to the gas station. I mean, to the police station or the fire station so they can run through. What up, BK? So they can run through and make sure it wasn't nothing in the candy. Now I don't even trust them. I don't even trust people's houses. I don't. I like the idea that but they have the trunk or treat. What is it called? Treat trunk or treat treat or trunk. Don't that take away from they might be in a church parking lot? No. How about this? Park them cars all down the street because trick or treating ain't. You don't get the feeling of trick or treating unless you're walking up on a porch ringing the doorbell. Trick or treat, seeing who gonna come, messing with people, getting on people's nerves. Trick or treat, and see, I had to stop. Yes, my mama said it's so boring being in the church parking lot, taking all of that excitement, or being cold and shivering, but you still want your candy, and you got the little kids, and I my voice got deep when I was younger, so people, motherfuckers stopped answering their door for me. I was up there like trick or treat. Oh hell, the fuck no. So what I did was I would say this is for my little so and so at home that couldn't make it, and I also took my nieces and nephews. I went as long as I could go. I I would still go trick or treating if I can get some candy, but I don't trust nobody no more. If somebody made popcorn like, and I used to love back in the day, one house made popcorn. You could smell the popcorn popping, and she'd put them in the little plastic, the little plastic bags, sandwich bag, and we would eat them as we're walking. You cannot do that now. You don't let your kids eat some popcorn. How many of y'all would let your kids eat some popcorn that somebody done popped? Uh, my mama said, hell, we just stopped this year. I love it. But listen to this. How many of y'all would allow your kids to eat some popcorn or eat some nuts that weren't in the package? Hell, I ate nuts when I was little. Oh, I ate my nuts. But um, anyway, no, I'm just saying trick or treating is so different. It's not as fun as it used to be. Cause see, not only did we go to Halloween party, we still went trick or treating. That was a must. It was something about ringing the doorbells, saying trick or treat, and people you did not know open up their door, having a big bowl of candy or a big bowl of candy. Oh my! My favorite ones is when they had the bowl and they had the candy bars, the Kit Kats, the almond joys. And I didn't care for the suckers, anything chocolate. I loved it. When it says "See Mike level," I stopped turning everything into freak fast. I can't help it. I can't help it. Um, yeah, the good old trick or treating days. And the mama said, "Don't eat nothing. Don't eat nothing till you get off." Or them examining something while y'all there might let you eat one piece. They're looking at it and they'll let you eat one piece of it. You know, I you know the Halloween parties I didn't care too much for. Yes, and we have our drinks with us and a beer from what does it say? Yes, and we have our drinks with us and get a beer from some houses. You know what they need to have? That would be nice to have a grown up trick or treat where you go from house to house and you just get grown shit. Like you get a blunt from one house. Trick or treat, they give you a blunt. Trick or treat, you get a Long Island iced tea. Trick or treat, you get a rose. Trick or treat, that's a deal though. Trick or treat, you got a butt plug. Trick or treat, stuff like that. That would be so high. Brandy for the tell Latanya Robbins I said hi, and also Supreme Queen. All right. Tell them all hi. Tell them I said hi too. But yes, or you get drinks. What are they? It's about 15 of us. It's so fun. You know what? Don't they call it a something roll or a beer roll, or when you go from house to house and they got different drinks at each house, and you spend about 10 or 15 minutes at 20 minutes at each house? What is that called? In my neighborhood, it's shit. I ain't letting nobody in my damn house. But crawl, a beer crawl, or something crawl. Beefy, I don't talk to anyone anymore, so they in the bushes uh anymore. Sorry, they in the bushes. They see it. We hit the clubs too. I love it. We should have some adult. But you know what? I don't like that best costumes. I've never been into that. Now I'll go to a dance party. Whoever danced the best. How about that? My mom always knew. I always knew I was gonna win first place. Every little. Now I did love this when I was younger, y'all. Um, I did love this. We go to how you go to the bar. That was the only time the kids can go to the bar for Easter, be it Easter, something like that. And they always had a dance contest. Well, baby, I always won the dance contest. I never lost. First place. My mom was like, and the one guy was like, he always win. You dare teach your child how to dance, dear. Teach your motherfucking child how to dance. And maybe he'll win some with his offbeat ass. Teach his little two left foot ass out of. Okay, let me stop it. But I'm just saying, I love today. Um, I love today. Oh, I love being at the bar because they would sit us at one table and they be in the bar like wow, but we'd have a pop. We'd have pop, and there was one time you could hang out with your parents. Yes, tear the clubs is pop. So, but and isn't it more safer now? So, like, I think it takes away though. Yes, it's safer to have your kids all in one place and have some activities for them, but it's nothing like walking from house to house, saying trick or treat, and people opening up their doors and being excited. And some of these people live, some of these older people live for the kids to to their come to their house. Don't y'all think? Let me get this. Hold on, let me take this down. Hey, Brandy.
Mike, you know what? I was cracking up because I was about to sit there and say, Mike, why you ain't drop your link? You drop it any other time. As soon as I was typing that, you dropped your link.
Oh, see, I must have felt something. What's going on, girl? What's going on?
Nothing much. I just, you know what? I just loved it when I'm able to catch your lives. I love and I enjoy sitting in there because you're just like the positive. You're just so positive, and I love that. But one thing that I do have to sit there and say, don't get mad at me, Mike. Everything that
Uh,
you sit there and say is not a freak fest.
listen,
It's not. Look, you said there, you said something about almond joys, and then you was like, yeah, because I like a lot of nuts. I said, damn, the candy can't even be safe.
I don't listen, but when you my age and it's been a long time, everything happens. You gotta look at it that way. Um,
Yeah.
when you get older, but no, I just like to, I was sitting today and said, what am I gonna talk about? And I was laying, cause my leg still hurts. The doctor was telling me today that he said you will always go through pain. I was like, the devil is a liar. So
Hmm.
it's a constant uncomfortableness I go through. So I have to sit up and make myself be laugh and be positive. And so I was thinking, I was looking at it, and I was talking to my cousin. She was like, "Oh, I'm getting the kids these costumes ready," and it made me start thinking about how we made our own and how the fun part of Halloween was going from house to house and people answering the door, and you didn't know what you were gonna get, and then you would always say they give out the best. That house give out the best candy. You know this trunk or treat. Oh, it's so boring. What do you think about this? The trunk or treat.
But then, Mike, you also got to sit there and look. Like back in your day, it was a little safe. Even back in my day, it was a little safe. But you get the
Right.
crazy people that really don't like kids, that will really try to harm kids on that holiday because they just dislike children. So I don't really think like I don't like doing that. Like I don't take my grandkids out. I be mad that my kids will take my grandkids out to do that because what I do is I go to the store and I buy bags of candy and I separate it and I give it to my grandkids, when they come over so they can have that. And I also did that with my kids when they were younger because that right there, as much as all of us have that spirit as we don't do that to other people, there's a lot of people that will do that to other people. You know what I'm saying? So Halloween
But
is just like the unsafest
you know what I
holiday.
would do. You know what I would do if I had children? Then I would at least take them and let them get that experience and not and look and get that candy, but then give them the candy that I actually bought them.
Hmm.
Um, because it's nothing like the spirit of walking. I remember so well, or even I can remember me being scared, and then your mom go, go up there, ring the bell, say trick or treat. It's no feeling
Right,
like that in
right.
the world.
What was
And
it?
I
Trick or
remember
treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat.
right, all of that. But even now, even when we were younger, I remember we never had to worry about our candy. And one year here in Detroit, one year they found the guy had put a razor in the candy bar or something. And so it was a white guy that did that. And so from that point on, they had said, once we went trick or treating, you go by the police station or the fire department, and they
And they
run your
stand your
candy.
candy.
They scan your
See,
candy, and
see,
yeah,
now you know what I'm sitting there talking about because when I was growing up, that's what we went through. Because over where I was at the time, there was a person that put razors and apples. You know what I'm
wow,
sitting there saying? That's why I'm like, it's just not like that's not a holiday that I feel safe for my children or anybody's children that I love and care about for them to go out and get candy. For all that, I'll have my own goddamn Halloween party and everybody could get candy from here because I know that it's safe. There's a lot of crazy people in this world. And it's sad
it
to
is
say, but there's a lot of people that don't like people, but they're here.
because you know what? I even said, like I was sitting there saying, we had a house that they popped popcorn, and we ate that popcorn as we got it, nice hot popcorn. I wouldn't dare let my children eat popcorn from anybody's house now that they
Hmm.
popped, and you know what I mean. Um, it was just so much more relaxed, and laid back, and you can trust folk, and not, But now you have people that only take them to business. Like you can even take them to business, take them to the gas station, to the liquor stores,
Look,
where
look, Mike, can I ask you this question? Have you heard about the one teacher that she had a classroom? I think she had kindergartners in her classroom, and she would bake cupcakes and bring them to school. But they thought that since she was this teacher, it was okay. But she was baking cupcakes and having her husband's semen on the cupcakes and having
yes,
the kids eat it.
yes, that bitch. I remember that. So bitch.
Yes, like,
Oh,
see, people are crazy. Like, I don't trust anything coming out of anybody's house that I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, that's why I really don't eat too much fast food because I don't know what them people be out there doing. And like, I remember watching a clip where some man was working, I think he was working at McDonald's, and he was sitting there rubbing bread buns between his ass and putting them on the sandwiches.
well, look,
You
I worked at this one restaurant where the girl, I was on the grill, and this girl, she was making the subs and stuff, and the girl that was messing with her boyfriend came through drive-through. And so I'm cooking the grill part of the order, and I look at it. She go, "Oh, bitch, this bitch pulled some of her pubic hair out and put it on the steak and cheese sub." And was like,
Who
"Bitch."
no, she didn't.
And I kind of looked, and so you know what I did? I went out to the car and I told the girl, "Don't eat that sandwich." I was like, "Look,
Mm.
don't say that I told you." I said, "But go in there and tell them you don't want this sandwich." And I told her what the girl did. She beat the shit out that bitch the next day. But
She was right for that. That's
right.
disgusting.
And I could not stand there and allow that. Everybody else laughing and shit. No, that's why I don't fuck with these. That's why, I do food reviews, and I hate to, and no matter you see, and the one guy was putting semen in the coffee.
Oh, wait. Oh, for real, I didn't see that. I know that there was the one man that they sat there and said stop drinking deer water for a hot minute because he was pissing in the fucking I guess the little big little thing that they was taking the water out of or whatever. They was like, yeah, don't drink that. We caught him pissing in the fucking water. I said, goddamn, you can't even be safe drinking bottled water. Like
Right, right. Now I have went into restaurants where I went into Burger King one time. This guy eyes were so swollen, pus was coming out of him. I said, "Excuse me, I don't want him to make my sandwich." And he got attitude. I said, "My brother, look at your face. You can't
yeah.
be mad at me." And I didn't call you out. I didn't say, "No, I don't want that motherfucker." I called the manager to the side discreetly to not embarrass your ass. But you sitting here with pus and shit in your eye. I don't know if somebody had whooped his ass or he had some type. First of all, I want to say, bitch, you shouldn't even be working.
Well, look,
Much
Mike. You remember back in the day that as a fast food worker, you had to be presentable. You had to have a clean uniform. You had to have a clean face. So I understand what you're sitting there saying. Nowadays, the way these workers be looking, like, I know one day I was like, I ain't had Burger King in a minute, and I was like, I'm gonna get me some Burger King. And my son was driving up to the parking lot, and I seen the one worker outside smoking a cigarette, looked like he ain't washed his uniform in months.
I
He was like, all
know.
right, mom. He was like, we're about to go. You want to go inside of the drive-through? I said, I don't want to go to either one. I said, you see him? He probably the one that's going to be making my food. I don't want to eat anything that dirty motherfucker look like he make it.
Yeah, a lot of. Yeah, but wait, did you see the one video with the white girl? Oh my God, I'm so glad I remember that. She was on her break and she was sitting in her car, I think Taco Bell's or something, and she was sitting there watching a nasty movie, fingering herself in the car.
What? No, I did not see that.
So I've jacked off at work before, but I washed my hands and stuff. I have, but you have a lot of these people that because of the mindset, you don't know, and a lot of these people don't wash their hands. Like the girl got mad at me because I said, "You just touched my money. You're not gonna make my fries." But I'm not touching your fries. I'm touching the scoop thing. But I scooped. I said, "Babe, I done scooped a mini fries and some done touched my thumb, putting it down in that bag." I don't
Yeah.
want. You get what I'm saying? I know how it is. No, even though you're using that scooper, but you just touched my money. I don't want you touching nothing of my food.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying because that's how I am. Like, I don't like for real, for real. I look, my kids call me weird because I don't really like taking money from hand to hand because I believe in spirits. Just like I don't like a lot of people touching me because I don't know how you're going through that day, and I don't want you to touch me and whatever bad energy you got in you. I don't want you to pass that on to me. So I don't like a lot of people like touching my hair. I don't like giving hugs out like that to people that's on the outside besides my kids because I don't know what the fuck you're going through, and I don't need your demon hopping the fucking me.
I don't let everybody pray for me either. I just don't.
I don't like that neither because you know what, Mike? Just because when somebody sit there and say I'm praying for you, you don't know who the fuck they praying to for you.
Or they could be praying against you.
Yep.
You have a lot of people. I was at church one time and this guy was putting oil on everybody, and my spirit said, "Tell him no." And so when he came to me and I was like, "That's all right," and he just was so persistent. I said, "I'm good." And everybody was looking like, "Oh, that was so wrong." No, it wasn't. I did what God told me to do. And God was like, "Do not let him put oil on you."
Yeah, because
And
like you said there said, you don't know who people like. I don't know who you're praying to, so don't pray for me. And then like you sat there and said, you don't know what they're praying about for you. You know what I'm sitting there saying? And that's a lot of things that everybody don't understand. I'm not the one to be like, oh, pray for me. No, motherfucker, don't pray for me. I pray for myself. Like, I don't want you to pray for me.
exactly. Now I don't mind prayer, but don't come out, and I don't like those people to come up to me and tell me, God told me, baby, I don't think God gonna bypass me when I didn't talk to him 3 times a day. He gonna tell you something that didn't tell me.
That part, but Mike, when you sit there and say you're not going against the prayer, I know you're not going against the prayer, but you're going to sit there and accept the prayers from people that you know are genuine, and that you know that nobody's going to pray against you. That's how we accept them. But yes, there's a lot of people nowadays that pray demons and bad shit on people, and then smile in their face like I'm gonna pray for you, and then later on that night they be praying like I hope that this motherfucker fall off a cliff, and you know what I'm saying? They're saying you be like, what the hell? Like I'm a true believer. Like I sit there because my daughter, she has the bad habit of sitting there saying, this person gets on my nerves, and I hope that they go out there and get hit by a bus. And I tell her, I said, baby, stop sitting there saying that. I said, because what you wish for the next person might be something that you'll get first. So don't do that.
Yeah. You got to be careful.
Yes.
You got to be careful. I don't tell nobody I'm gonna pray for. I don't, and I'm a big I'm on these people too. When people like pray for me, I don't be like done. If I ain't prayed for you, because a lot of people say done ain't prayed shit on them statuses. Or you and your family in my prayers, and that's all they say, and they never actually pray.
Yeah.
Because that's
Because
the thing.
I could agree with you because Mike, I done did that before to a couple people like, oh, I'm gonna pray for you and your family, and then I'll go home and I'll be like, I'm not about to fuck this.
Just I tell people that one person was like, well, I like your status, you don't like none of mine. I said, if that's the reason you like them, I said, then, baby, you fucking up. Don't like none of mine. I said, because I'm gonna tell you, especially if you got a status on Facebook and then they got see more where you gotta read extra, you gotta hit that. I don't know, not till the 10, I probably didn't read that. And I didn't just hit like, you didn't wrote a damn book. And I'm trying to, yeah, I'm scrolling. You didn't wrote a goddamn book now. And so that be the funny part. Mike, love you and see you tonight. See me tonight. See me tonight. What? Mike, love you and see you tonight. See me where? See me. I should come back live tonight too. I've been in this hospital, y'all. Oh my God. Listen, they got me down for no salt. I don't know what's that about. I didn't even realize I wasn't getting any salt until I asked for some. Are you coming? Wait, I didn't even realize the bitches wasn't even giving me salt until I asked for some. They said, "Oh no, you something." I said, "Who did that?" It was like the doctor. So now I gotta wait for the doctor to change it.
I'm cracking up because Mike, if you didn't even know that you didn't have salt, then that means that you can live without salt. So you okay?
That's what I said to myself too. I was like, "Okay, it's funny." If I didn't know they wasn't giving me salt, then I couldn't, because I done been in here 3 damn days and ain't asked for damn salt. Then they keep giving me fucking tea. I don't drink tea. Period. And
Well, Mike, maybe you need to start drinking that tea so you can stop being in the tea on YouTube and be able to keep your peace.
Right. Yeah. Now, if they made it a Long Island iced tea, it might be all right. But you know what? The tea on YouTube, I have come to terms with this. As long as I just keep my distance, I mean, from the point of allowing people in, especially other content creators that have a hidden agenda or have a different, it's like I look back on it now and I can see where, wow, I see that there, and I just overlooked it. So the part of me letting other content creators in like that is a wrap. That is not gonna happen.
You know what, Mike? The sad part about it is that just not on YouTube, but just like through daily life, we meet people, but we don't get that 5-minute preview like we do on the movies to let us know what the movie's about to be about and how it might end. We don't get that preview, so we go in there, on the whim. Like on a whim, we go in there and be like, we hope that it don't be like that, and sometimes it always turns out to be like how we hope that it wouldn't be like. So I tell everybody, when you get that first inkling, like, you know what, yeah, this might be a bad, or this might be take that and you go with it. Go with that first gut feeling. Don't wait for the second and the third, because by the time when you go through that, it's too late. When you get that first feeling, go with it and sit on it.
I look back and I was saying to myself, I was like, wow. And I'm usually hard as hell to pull one over on. I watch every fucking thing, and then I see that I said, maybe because I'm getting older, am I trusting people too much more, or I see it and be like, I just, sometimes you let people hang their damn self, and And I go wild, and because you be careful of people that say how much they done for you, how long they've known you, and they keep doing that. They keep doing that because they doing it for a reason. They're trying to prove something to themselves, and it be those people. It be the ones that do that that end up doing some of the stuff that because I think of all my stuff on YouTube. I have never did anything to anybody but left them alone. And I've had people get mad at me because I stopped messing with them. Not that, look, when I say stop messing with them, not that I stopped messing with them and came in here and was talking about them and let them have it. It's that I stopped even mentioning their names.
Yeah,
Because I
you
have.
know what, Mike, I can sit there and say this much. I have been watching you for years, and when I sit there and say years, I've been watching you for a good 4 to 5 years. I have been watching you, but I never
Mhm.
dropped down in your chat because I didn't like the people that you had in your chat, and then the things that you were talking about around that time. I didn't jump down into it because it wasn't nothing that I wanted to get involved in
Right.
too. But I watched it. That's why I sat there and told you, like, I'm happy that you have growth in you right now, and I seen how you helped a lot of people out, and I seen how a lot of people dogged you out, and I
Mhm.
seen a lot of things that you went through. One thing that I do know is I always saying that you had a good heart. It's just that a lot of people took advantage of it. And it's not your fault. It's just the fact that a lot of people seen what I seen and they played on it instead of just letting you prosper and grow like how you're growing right now.
Mhm. And you know what? And I'm still that person. So it was never that. Because can't nobody do no more than you allow them to. Um, the My point is just that you be like, wow. Even the people you be like, I know they ain't gonna do it, and when they do it, you be like, wow. And so it makes you say, I don't put nothing past nobody. Um, and sometimes you have to be a little selfish.
Ain't that wrong with being like that?
Sometimes you got to say, you know what, it's gonna be about me. I had people talk about me because I was feeding the man in the hospital with me. The man that had got burnt up and was crying every night. And I saw how his wife was doing him and stuff. So me giving him a little bit of my chicken or something or some of my pizza, that was nothing. That what I'm saying? That
Hmm.
that made my day. That made his day. Nobody saw him. The man like a monster. That's
Right.
how bad that fire burnt him up. I almost when the first time I looked at it, I was scared as fuck. And
Hmm.
it made me say, bitch, you sitting here complaining about a broken bones in your foot. You could be looking like that right now.
Can I ask you something, Mike?
Yes.
Have you paid attention to how the dynamic of your chat has changed after certain people has left it?
Wait, say that
Like
again.
I, I think right now, like you have people that in your chat right now that genuinely care about you. They are
Yeah.
genuinely some people that's going to do what they want to do to help you and talk you out of throwing yourself underneath the bus or crashing out or
Yeah.
whatever. You literally have a chat right now that's full of people that really care about you compared to how your chat used to be. I want to sit there and say probably like a year or two ago, you had a
Uh,
lot of people that wanted you to crash out and they made
I
sure that you crashed out.
mm-hmm.
Can
Mm-hmm.
you see the difference now in your chat though?
Oh yeah, I've been saying that. I said, who's supposed to be here will be here, and who don't supposed to be don't. Um, but I've always had a balance. I've had those that like my mama Terry be like, especially if a bitch is doing something wrong, she gonna be like, no, cut some bitches out. And sometimes people need that. And then you'll have other people that'll say, like a sweet Rita or be like, well, don't. And sometimes they both work, you know. Um, but like I said, at some point when how long can I keep cussing people out? People already know I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm.
People already, people already know that I'm good at that. So what I need to do is just don't have that. that energy around me. Get you the fuck away from me when I feel that, because I'll get you the fuck away from me, or I'm gonna cut you the fuck out. So it's best for me to just not fuck with you.
Yeah, because Mike, I sat there and I was watching you when you sat there and had Money Boy Trey and you had Joy on your panel before. I was sitting there watching you. Do you remember when you had Joy, the other lady, Joy, that cooks? What is her name? The one lady with the glasses.
The one that got the phobia can't leave her house. Yes, the light skin.
Yes, like
I love
I
that.
said,
I love
I was watching you. I was watching you with that. I watched when you were sitting there going through stuff with Boy Stop Capping. I've been watching you for a long time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I've been sticking around. It's just that now I see you have a calmer chat. That's why I started dropping down now.
and you know what pisses me off about some of that? You mentioned those names. I have went against those people for certain people, and I don't still deal with some people, and now they're cool with those people. And so
Hmm.
it makes me be like, well, what the fuck was all this for? Hey, Daphne, when people, oh, I like them, they cool. Yeah, y'all cool, but why the fuck did I go to fuck off on them? You know what I mean? And so that's it, Michael. Stop taking up for people, Um,
No, and I understand that because you want to know what this is why I sit there and say you have a big heart, and a lot of people see that and they take advantage of that because you had a big heart enough to, oh, this is my friend, this is somebody that I'm cool with, so I'm gonna fight for them. And then when they get tired of you, they be like, oh, you know what, fuck you. But even though you fought for me, I want to be friends with the person that you fought against for. And then now you're sitting here looking like, well, what the fuck was all that fucking for?
yeah, that is a pet peeve of mine. Um, pet peeve, pet peeve of mine. Daphne is in a bit. Y'all make sure y'all check out Daphne over there. Daphne, what was that sandwich you was over there eating? That damn sandwich looks so good. I was like, I'm coming to Chicago, and Daphne, we go. I'm hitting some of them, and I don't really like subs like that, but that damn sub was so good.
Oh,
But
I need to
yeah,
sit there and see a picture of that. That sounds like it was good just from you describing it.
yeah, I have a cousin. Well, he's my cousin-in-law. He he's doing a lot of reviews on Facebook. So I told him, I said, we need to do a couple of reviews together because uh, I love to eat. Was it a
Hmm.
hoagie? I think it was a hoagie, Daphne. I love to eat. We have so many new restaurants in Detroit that aren't anywhere else. And I'm going to start doing those. Yes, it's going to be a little expensive, but baby, I'm going to eat at every last one of them. Because I love to do that. And, and it's so much more to um, cussing somebody out, getting into it with somebody. Um, like I have my opinions on things. Like I had my opinions on oh boy asking for the $2,000 the pastor. Um, Certain things that may make a difference, not about what somebody said or did on another damn channel.
Hmm.
And look, and I never even did that. I'm not even answering when they say something about me.
You know what? Sometimes the best response to people is no response.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like that. That's
Exactly.
how that's sometimes everybody needs to sit there and understand that. Like sometimes you could win a whole battle or a whole war if that's what you think you're going through, but just not even responding to it because now you got that person looking like they're dumb because the only people that they going back and forth with is they self.
Yeah. And you know what? I used to be this person like, let me show everything. Let me show everything. I'm even pulling back on that as far as the visuals. I'm not even letting people see as much as that. I'm strategically showing what it is that I want to be seen because you want to be carefree and you want to do this, but I've seen over time that when you do that, people are so grimy and so evil and they try to do stuff that, you know what, I'm not gonna give it to you. You're gonna have to work like hell to get it.
You ain't never lied about that because you want to know one thing, Mike. One thing that
Mm.
I like, I love my black skin and I love my black people, but one thing that I definitely do dislike about it is we always find a way to tear each other down.
Yeah,
Like, why?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of building each other up, we find a way to tear each other down. You know, and for what? For why? Because when you look at it, the white people don't do that shit too much to themselves. They build each other up and they'll drag their white sister out of the swamp. But us as black people, we'll leave our sister in the swamp. We might even put her foot on her head and push her down further. And that to me is some fucked up shit.
But I say this all the time, and this is such a true story. Um,
Yes, like Mike, that is some fucked up shit. Where is Upper at? I love when she be up here too, and it's like every time I come up, she's not up, and every time she comes up, I can't come up.
I just talked to her before I went live. She was on her way home. Um, Wait, hey girl, I mean, hey Dave. I don't know why I keep saying hey girl, David Devin said, with the food capital of the world coming to Chicago. I've been there, I've eaten there, I gotta come back there again. My mama said that part. Look, I always say this. You can have I had a cousin, y'all, and this is a true story. They were giving away potatoes, 50-pound bags of potatoes at one of the churches. Guess people donate all these bags. And she called me and she was like, hey, you need to go down to the church. They're giving away free bags of potatoes. 50 pounds. I said, really? Okay. I said, all right. Well, she said, leave out now. I said, okay, I'm on my way down there now. She said, don't tell nobody. I said, huh? I said, don't tell. I said, did you get you a bag? She said, yeah, I already got mine. I said, you can't get no more. She said, no. I said, do they have? She said, they got a lot more. So I couldn't understand why don't tell nobody. You,
You
but
was on some why you didn't take more bags, and she was on some no because other people needed it.
no, she didn't say none of that. She was like, don't tell nobody. And it shocked the hell out of me. Because I was saying this now. It can be Becky and Brittany. They done just had a fight in the street and Becky then whooped Brittany's ass. And Brittany gonna call Becky and say, look, I know we just got into it, but I know how little Ralphie likes potatoes, and I just want you to know they're giving potatoes away. She's still gonna call her and tell her about the potatoes down there at the church.
Yes, she is. Yes, she
But,
is.
but we as black people, we're not going to do. Even if have you ever walked to somebody's house and said, "Oh, this is nice. Where you get it from?" They're gonna do one or two things: tell you they ain't got that was the last one, or they're gonna try to jack the price up because they don't
Yes.
want you to have that. Not knowing, baby, I can get the same living room set you guys. It still ain't gonna be hooked up to. Why is it we don't want people to have what we? I just never understood that.
And you know what, Mike? That's something that I never understood either because I'm like, is it the Willie Lynch syndrome that keeps being indoctrinated into everybody growing up throughout the years? Because, he pretty much told everybody that when you're black, to hate your parents and to hate your siblings because of this and that. But one thing about it is I love my black people. Like, I don't give a fuck. There's nothing that can take that away from me. I love all my black people. I don't care what state you are. I love you. And I will help you if you come to me and say that you need anything. If I got it, I give it. You know what I'm saying? But then the way the world is indoctrinating, that's what I want to sit there and say, indoctrinating these kids. They telling these black kids and they're pushing it more on the black kids to sit there and be a certain type of way and to sit there and act a certain type of way. And then they're the only ones, because the white people use that against us because black people have a bad habit of loving the internet. So they put a lot of stuff on the internet and then the white people switch it and make it look like how it really wasn't or how it really is. And it just makes us look bad as a community when at the end of the day, they do undercover shit when it comes to the white bum people. They don't expose all that stuff when it comes to the white people. They'll sit there and they'll show a whole bunch of black kids fighting, but they won't expose all them white kids that be fighting. Like they'll sit there and expose black kids fighting like these people are animals and this is what they do. And then they won't expose the white people fighting the same way. And then we even had Trump sit there and say that black kids is going to grow up to be nothing but killers because it's in their system, like it's in their bloodline. They're not going to be nothing but killers. Like
A lot of times we are the ones because what's the first thing that as soon as people get to fighting, people pull out their damn cell phones and it's World Star and they want to put it on, not knowing that instead of you stopping your black sisters and brothers from fighting, instead of you getting out there, you want to be the first one to put it on social media. My one cousin died and his mama didn't even know yet. And I had another cousin. The police had his body laying on the street with a sheet over it. And they posted it on Facebook. And they telling her, girl, if you don't get that off of Facebook, we want to be the first one to spread bad news. Oh, let me put my phone out. Show them getting their ass. Well, let me put my phone out. I keep telling people right now, if you got a phone out while I'm getting my ass whooped, as soon as they finish whooping my ass, I'm fucking you up. I'm fucking you up for videotaping it. Because I'm going to try to stop it or say, why are y'all doing that? You know, unless it's somebody that deserved their ass whooped, but other than that, we too busy. We don't want to help each other. That's too much like right.
And that's the sad part about it, Mike.
These content creators on here, you got some people that will tell you half the stuff that you need to do something on here. They won't give you all the information because they're too scared that you may get ahead of them. And baby, what's for you is for you. Can't nobody take that from you. I'm not mad about anybody I made YouTube of the week that may be doing better than me or got more subscribers. And I ain't never even looked at it that way. I look at my YouTubers of the week and I go, oh my God, they're doing so good. And I'm so proud because I feel like I had something to do with that. Just a little part. But you got people out here that won't tell you shit, won't show you shit, or lie on some shit. Give you the wrong information to try to keep you from getting past them. And baby, first of all, everybody gotta know that it's not always a competition. Stop looking at everybody as your competition. That's why people don't get blessed. That's why you have a lot of people over here that will leave here and always say, oh, C may talk about his subscribers. That's because you're jealous of them. You're jealous of them. And maybe if you stop worrying about my subscribers, you will get your own subscribers like that. And that's one of the that it pisses me off when people leave here and do videos and lie, especially motherfuckers that you've helped, people that you've bent over backwards for, the people that the only reason they know you is because of me. Some people, the majority of the people. I'll just keep it real. But you know, that's why when God knows your heart, He knows your intent. God's gonna always keep me. He's always gonna bless me because He know I was never in it with an ulterior motive. I didn't go. You know, I came out here. I didn't go to anybody looking for nothing. I came out here to do what I do. That's to do cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. That's the first thing people need to do. Get your channel make your channel name what you do. Mine was self-explanatory. That's all I came on here to do some cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. And I've never wavered, never changed. That's always who I've been.
No, CMA, you know what? That's something that you always sit there and did, but that's why I sit there and say for some reason I don't understand how us as being one race as the black people, we are the most self-hating race in the world. Like we really self-hate each other to the point where it's just like, why? Like for what? Why do you feel that way? Like a female will sit there and be living in a duplex next to somebody and be like, oh, well, I got the nicest car and I got this and that. And then try to show out on her neighbor. And then you got to look at the bitch like, well, bitch, you are my fucking neighbor. So how much are you showing off on?
Or
You
you
know
have
what
the
I'm
ones
saying?
that always say, they, I did it first. Ain't nobody ever did shit first. It's all whatever you do already been done.
That part. That is
They are
definitely
the
true.
only reason they talking about that is because I talked about it. You don't think nobody else ever talked about it. The only reason they got that because I got it. Stop it, boo.
That part. Like I just hate the fact that black people got so much self hate in the community. It's crazy, and it makes me really just look at everybody like, who raised you? How was your parents for you to sit there and be raised like this? Because I know white people, we already got white people hating us. Why do we have to have our own race hating us? And then one thing that I definitely do believe is that black people really can't be prejudiced because how can we do? We never suppressed anybody in this world. We never sat there and was dominant in any type of,
We suppress each
struggle
other.
in it.
We suppress each other. When back in the day, when slavery stopped because the kings sold their own people. Sold their own
Mm,
people. White men didn't just come over to Africa and take them. There was some tribe leaders. The leaders of the tribe set the people up and sold them. So they suppressed us.
you
We
ain't never lie
suppressed
about that.
we suppressed our own people.
Because I sat there and I had told my kids before, I said, well, hell, if you sit there and you go back to Africa, I said, they used to sell us and they sold their own people. And then, like I sat there and said, you know what? I sat there and told them, if you really go into your history, I said, hell, white people suppressed their own damn self. For real, for real. They sat there and made slaves out of each other before they found out that they could go somewhere else and make slaves out of other people. Just like they enslaved Chinese people. And Chinese people struggle all day to want to feel like they're white. Why? They sat there and enslaved our dumb motherfuckers too.
Well, they had the thing called indentured servers, indentured servants, and that would be when people were enslaved for a certain amount of years, so they paid off the debt that they owed, and that could be a white person, an Indian, anybody. That wasn't just black people that did that. But like I said, yeah, the white people didn't just go over in Africa and say, "Let us go." They didn't have enough people like that.
Mm-hmm.
They gave them liquor. They gave them brandy and liquor and food and goods and stuff. And them tribes, the leaders of their own tribes set their people up to get caught like that, not knowing what they were sitting them into and what they were starting.
Mm-hmm.
Black people have always been the type that we will shit on each other to get ahead
Yes.
or to get a little more. I always tell this story too of how I had some shoes I bought from Payless. I know people tired of this story, but it is very poignant. And I paid $20 for them. And everybody was like, "Oh, there's some nice sandals." This guy came out to the park, and the guy had the same color sandals. It was same sandals, just a different color. And somebody was asking him, "Oh, how much you pay for them?" He was like $79. And I looked. I said, "Well, you better go get your change."
Right? You better.
Because I paid $19.99 for these. I was like, it's the same exact. And he looked at me with his eyes like I was going to lie with you. Bitch, I said, well, how does that make you feel alive? Bitch, I would have expected you more because, like, damn, you got a good deal. That's nice for what instead of you sitting up here making people think you got money that you don't have.
Yeah, because you
Black
know
folk.
what, Mike? I think I was in. I don't know. I think I was in Queen's chat or I was in Orange chat where I sat there and I was like, Trump said there, and he's been doing all this stuff to black people, so he thinks. But the white people is more on them benefits than black people because I need everybody to remember that when we were slaves, we sat there and got the scraps and we made it work to the point where now these people pay top dollar for chitlins, and that was a scrap back in the day for us.
Yeah.
You know
All we
what I'm
have to do
saying?
is
I'm saying like when I look at it as like some of the things that we're going through right now, we're not being the oppressed uh people. He's oppressing his own people for the simple fact when you thought you was hurting us, how could you hurt us when there's more of y'all on it than we are?
what is really happening is these these black folk that didn't voted for him, and even the white folk, they are learning. And look, even the white people was hard. They are the government shut down. It's hurting a lot of them. It's hurting a,
Mike, I'm about to sit there and drop down, and then I'm gonna come back up because I have a lot of I don't know what that is. It's a lot of static or whatever.
but I don't hear it. That must be well, that's not at the limit because my machine beeping. And when you got off, I said, oh, I can still hear my machine beeping.
Yeah, it's a lot. It sounds like a lot of static right now. So I'm gonna drop down and then I'm gonna come back up. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. But for it to be Halloween tomorrow is oh, Tara said I hear it too. Normally I'd be out there trick or treating. Trick or treat, I would be doing all that. But hell, with my foot, I couldn't do a damn thing. Now it stopped. Okay, I don't. I wonder if she had something else on. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to walk the trick or treat. Um, tomorrow's Friday. I got so much I got to do. Plus, I got to go. Money that been taken from me that shouldn't have been taken from me. I tell you, but I don't worry about anything anymore, y'all. I just sit here and I say, God, let your will be done. I got an IV in my arm. They had to move my IV. The bitch stuck me 3 damn times. Cause I got them hard pains. That shit hurt so bad. Almost slapped the shit out of her. Almost slapped the cowboy shit out of her. I said, who you playing with, girl? The nigga, the straight guy almost came out of me. Uh, so one good thing, I still got this other hamburger. Watch this. I know they're not gonna warm it up for me. We don't have a microwave. Well, that a cheeseburger. Let me see what I'm due for some more medicine. Let's see. Somebody should be. So I just watched this movie with what's her name? Taraji P Henson. In all her movies she act the same to me. This one she played almost a action hero, and she did some action scenes and really wasn't that damn good. Really wasn't that good. So yeah, y'all. God, this year is almost over. So it's 2026. 3 years and my mama been gone. Hello. Hold on. Hi. Yes, I'm just
Mike, can you hear me?
okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I was talking to my
No,
nurse.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay,
can
I
hear you.
wasn't sure.
No, I had put it on
YouTube
mute.
messing with everybody. Like YouTube is doing a whole lot. I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta go through hoops to get up here.
I know, isn't that something? I don't understand. And look, today I I forgot that they automatically just take money to pay for the StreamYard. I sure wasn't gonna pay for it just not just yet, right? And my bank was like, "Excuse me, fraud alert." They called me. I said, "Oh damn!" I said, "Damn StreamYard." Okay, they got me. I said, "But no, I'm gonna
Mhm.
go ahead and keep it. Might as well, because they give you 20 free hours, and you know, once you, but lately I've been talking so much, I've paid them 20 hours. You're supposed to use that for the whole month, and it used to be a time I could actually use that, but it's a lot of other things you can't do, like you can't put pictures up and all of that. And so I'd rather go ahead and pay that little $50. You know what I'm saying? And be just a little more relaxed in what it is I'm doing. Hold on, I'm on my way back home. We had to go to store to get the beer for the game, so I'm getting ready to drive and we'll be listening to. Okay, get me a beer, pack of cigarettes, some Rellos, um, give me some Blue Chew. Okay, yeah. What game y'all playing, Mama? What game y'all playing? Oh, she did say it was playing a game tonight. Uh, you know what? I prayed to God just that I have such an uncomfortableness in my foot. I mean, a constant. I don't know if anybody's ever had a constant pain that no matter even what the doctor doing, they saying you're gonna always have this pain, and it makes me want to cut this fucker off. That's how bad it is.
Yes, I had that pain when I had a steel rod go through my foot. And I got workers' comp and everything. And I walk around with my foot, but I definitely do still get the tingle of the pain.
It'll go. I can think about it, and it could just start hurting. So I was like, look, a motherfucker gonna have to either stay high off some edibles, or I'm gonna have to always have me some cocktails to make it through the day.
Yeah, I guess that would help.
Yeah. Cause look, if I get out of here tomorrow, if they let me out tomorrow, when I get home, first of all, I want to go get me a pedicure, and I can't. I'm only be able to get it on one toe. Ain't that a bitch?
That definitely is the bitch because you're gonna need it on all of them.
I wonder can they do it without hurting my feet. I don't know, but I'm gonna sure try.
Mike, I'm gonna just let you sit there and go, and I'm gonna just be in the chat because this it's just
I
choppy
mean,
and everything, and so I'll just be in the chat and I'll sit there and listen to what you got to sit there and say. Freaky Uncle Mike.
okay. Thank you for coming up. You hear me dance, but everything ain't got to be a freak fest.
Yes, I love you, Mike. At the end of the day, you just remember that your heart is good as hell, and can't nobody take that away from you.
Come on, baby girl. I hear you. All right. You welcome up anytime. You know that.
All right, I love you.
All right. You too, sweetheart. Okay. All right. Love all the way around. Love, love, love. And I've got love on my mind. And there's nothing particularly wrong. It's a feeling I feel inside. When I woke up early this morning, it was staring me straight in my eyes. Ooh wee. I've got love on my mind. Oh, okay. What time is it? 8. I'll come back on here a little more tonight. Make sure y'all support the channel, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, my leg. Back of my leg, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the Cash App. Hit the GoFundMe. Do it all. Do it all. Do it all. Okay, y'all. I'm going to give me a little rest. And have a woman this other hamburger for me. Uh, this is a year of solitude, a year of what should I call it? A year of self-awareness. The rest of this will be the year of self-awareness. Oh, this leg want to give me some problem. All right, y'all. Oh. I'm sitting there rubbing my feet. What's getting boy? He's gonna wash my foot. Yeah. Okay, y'all. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Hold on, yeah, I'm trying to. Any way to break bone? Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, beautiful night. I might be back. I might be back. All right, this your boy, comedian Mike Waller. I'm out. Peace.